In today's video, I'm going to share with you 5 simple ways that will get you excited to cook when you would rather literally do anything else. Hi there, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Jessica, and here on my channel, we focus on all things mom life. However, everything we do here in my space does have a bit of a healthy twist as I'm a holistic nutritionist. So you're probably thinking it's easier to just DoorDash, Uber Eats, or head out to dinner, and I completely can feel those sentiments. When I'm tired and exhausted, the last thing I want to do is hop in the kitchen and prepare a meal. However, I will say that there are a couple little tricks that actually get me excited to be in the kitchen, and making cooking an act of self-care has to be number one. Now, stick with me here because you're probably thinking, how in the world is cooking considered self-care? Well, there's a few different things that I do. One, I have been loving making these little spritzers. They are non-alcoholic, but you could feel free to add alcohol if that's something you're interested in doing. And for me, on a Sunday, if I'm doing a little bit of ingredient prepping, if I'm preparing quinoa or making smoothie bags, I love to take the approach of being in the kitchen as an act of self-care. So I'll make a fresh coffee or a latte at home, a spritzer, all of the beverages, and then you've probably seen this in many of my YouTube videos, but I will actually put in my headphones and I will either listen to a podcast, an audiobook, or I'll prop up my phone or iPad on the countertop and watch YouTube videos or catch up on any of my shows. And this simple act of looking at cooking as a little bit of me time does a few different things. First and foremost, it gets you into the kitchen. Secondly, I don't dread it. I look forward to getting in the kitchen and providing nourishing, nutrient-dense meals for my family. And third, I'm able to enjoy myself during the experience. If we're rushing and we're dreading and we're thinking everything I cook nobody's going to eat, if we have those thoughts in our head, it can definitely bog us down and zap our energy. Whereas if we bring in little simple acts of joy, like the spritzer or having a fresh cup of coffee or a beautiful herbal tea while listening to an audiobook or a podcast, now it feels a little bit more zen and relaxing for you to feel present, feel excited, and be inspired by being in the kitchen. Sometimes I think lack of confidence is one of the biggest things that unmotivates us from being in the kitchen, is that we're not sure what to cook. Like I said earlier, we're unsure if anyone in our family will eat anything that we put together. Our time is so precious and so finite that we don't want to waste a single minute. At least that's the phase of life I'm in. My days are so tightly packed and scheduled minute to minute sometimes that I don't want to waste a single one of those on something that doesn't pay dividends. And this tip is one that does, and that is to perfect a few recipes and add variation as you go. Every single weekend, I love to make a big cold salad to have in the refrigerator for lunches. So what I've done is that I have perfected a lot of recipes, but when I first got started, I perfected just a few recipes to help build my confidence on things that I know everyone in my family will eat and things that will save me during the week. So making a large quinoa salad with a ton of different flavors and vegetables, it's so helpful for me. It's a recipe that I could do in my sleep. I don't even have to look up any directions. I just kind of go with whatever my intuition and my body is craving that week when it comes to ingredients and the dressing. But I will include some of my favorite cold salad recipes for you guys in the description box down below. But with that being said, just perfect a few recipes that you know everyone in your family will absolutely love the taste profile. And then when you perfect that, you can branch out a little bit. But my second tip has to be perfect a few recipes to build that momentum and build that confidence. That way you can feel really excited about hopping in the kitchen to make those recipes. Once you've perfected these tried and true recipes, I would encourage you to start adding in different ingredients. And with that being said, to try one new food per week. So if you're somebody who typically makes this salad with a bunch of the quinoa that I have cooling over here, and then you add in cucumbers and peppers, perhaps next week you could add in a different ingredient. Maybe you could even substitute in some different lentils. If you've never prepared lentils at home, they're extremely easy to prepare at home. You can even buy them pre-made, but they aren't typically organic, so I prefer to make them at home. So if normally you make beans and you add that into your foods, I would encourage you to add in some lentils. So this week you could try red lentils. Then next week, the new food that you could start to substitute in would be black lentils, and you could prepare 1 whole cup for the entire week. You can blend these into smoothies. I'm a very big fan of adding protein and fiber via whole foods instead of a protein powder. So you could blend these into smoothies. You cannot taste them. I use them in so many of my baked goods. So you could also add in half of a cup of cooked lentils into a banana bread or a zucchini muffin. But I would encourage you to try to prepare 1 new food a week. Maybe this week it is quinoa with your cold salad. Next week we make the same cold salad, but we add in the green lentils. The following week we add in the black lentils. And I would encourage you to double your batch. You know that you're going to need 1 cup for the cold salad. Make 2 cups of lentils because they blend into everything. You can blend them into tomato sauce for your chili. You can blend them into a marinara sauce if you're making a spaghetti or a lasagna. It is undetectable, as I mentioned, smoothies and baked goods. But trying 1 new food per week from a preparation standpoint, it will build that muscle in the kitchen of trying new foods, preparing new foods, and getting them into that basic routine. I don't think that you should go crazy and add in 2, 3, 4, 5 new ingredients per week. I really think it's best to start slow, perfect 1, then you can include that one, plus an additional 1 each and every week. And then 4 weeks will have gone by and you've added in 4 brand new foods into your recipes that you wouldn't have typically had just 1 month ago. Sometimes if you're feeling unmotivated and in a rut in the kitchen, I find it helpful to bring in some new gadgets, tools, and different cooking accessories. I have a few different new items that have been really inspiring for me in the kitchen lately. So Kaya actually got me this very sharp but very beautiful new knife for Christmas. I guess it's not that new because we're in March, but many of you have commented on the aesthetics of this knife. And one thing I will say is that it's not just aesthetically pleasing, it's very utilitarian. It is very, very sharp and super comfortable to hold. I have one from the same brand that is a size bigger and it's black, and it's actually a little bit cumbersome for me because I am petite. I have small hands. Holding that knife was a lot, whereas this one is super, super comfortable. I will link it for you guys in the description box down below. He got it off of Amazon. And I will say little things like this, it brings a little bit of beauty. Obviously, it's very sharp and useful, are helpful things to make you feel excited and inspired to get into the kitchen. I'm not sure about you guys, but you know when you buy new makeup, like if you buy a new CC cream or a new bronzer or blush, you get excited the next day to do your makeup? I feel that way in the kitchen. And another new item that I purchased at Costco was this Nordic ware roasting pan. And first of all, it was on sale for $15 at Costco, which I love because you can kind of double it and use this as a cooling rack for all of your baked goods. And you guys know how much I love baking. And second to that, most roasting pans are extremely deep because they're meant for either like a turkey or a chicken or a large pot roast. And so they're typically quite deep. What I loved about this roasting pan is that you can see here, it's relatively shallow. So we've been using this a lot to bake chicken thighs on or chicken wings, salmon, and the beautiful part is that the air is really great. It goes right under the roaster so you can get that crispiness. Whether it's on fish or chicken, you can get a really nice crispiness to anything you're cooking, even Brussels sprouts or broccoli, because of that really incredible airflow. And I will say that when I saw this was on sale at Costco for $15, apparently it's been there for a really long time and I had just never seen it, or it was new to our Costco. But when I saw this and it was on sale for $15, I immediately grabbed it. But it did make me feel inspired. I was like, oh, I know what I can cook on that. I can do like a dill lemon honey salmon and it would be perfectly crispy. And it did help me get excited to get into the kitchen. So it is a new accessory that I have purchased. Other than that, I would say just get creative with the accessories and gadgets that you do have. So different silicone bags are things I feel like most people have in their kitchen. So you would typically store different leftovers in it, or you would use it to go to the office and you would pack any of your lunch goods in there. Whereas I love to use them as smoothie bags. So I fill up all of my different smoothie ingredients, I put it against my chest, I let all of the air out, I close it shut, pop it into the freezer, pull it out in the morning, toss it into your blender, add your liquid, and you're ready to go. So you can reimagine using different gadgets and tools that you have in your kitchen in a few different ways that you maybe typically wouldn't use them. And my fifth and final tip to help you feel inspired and motivated to get into the kitchen and start cooking would be to join us in the Living Well membership area. If you are unfamiliar, Living Well is my monthly membership. You are more than welcome to join on a monthly basis or an annual basis. And inside the membership area, there are hundreds upon hundreds of smoothie recipes, salad recipes, lunch and dinner ideas, and healthy baked goods. And now newly added into the membership area, I have an entire section dedicated to the spritzer tonics, which everybody has been loving. So if you are just missing that final step in structure, then I would highly encourage you to join the membership area where you can follow along with me on a weekly basis and my personal weekly meal plan. Also, in addition to that, each month we do have one area of focus, and in the month of March we're focusing on our nervous system. We are really nourishing our nervous system from the inside out so that we don't constantly feel in that fight or flight response. So we're working with our hormones to nourish our nervous system to feel more settled on a daily basis. So I will have everything linked for you in the description box down below, as well as the first pinned comment, so you can indeed join us inside the membership experience. And if you like today's video, you can let me know by giving it a big thumbs up. And now the subscribe button is right over here on the screen. Give that a click, that way you don't miss a single video, and I hope to see you back here next Thursday.